Today on Public Eye News, Governor Gretchen Whitmer proposes a $3 billion plan to fix Michigan's roads. But first, we'll have everything you need to know about the data breach affecting casinos and gas stations across the UP.
Coming up, I will have your weather forecast, where we'll look into conditions for the next couple days. Later, Dylan Dubé will have today's sports breakdown. I'm Aubrey Huddleston.
And I'm Toby Camilli, and this is Public Eye News. Kewadin casinos and mid-Jim gas stations have closed temporarily due to a data breach after the Sault Ste. Marie tribe of Chippewa Indians suffered a ransomware attack on Sunday morning. The attack is affecting both computer and phone systems across the tribal administrations. Kewadin casinos announced starting yesterday their gambling operations will be paused until further notice, and all mid-Jim gas stations have been closed temporarily as well. Sioux tribeman Austin Lowe stated that the hope is that the issue will be resolved within a week, but they are prepared for it to last longer. Any further updates will be communicated via the tribe's Facebook page. And Sioux Area Middle School is set to reopen tomorrow after a portion of the middle school's roof collapsed into a classroom adjacent of the gymnasium midnight last Saturday. The collapsed section of the roof supported a heating system connected to the boiler room. The collapse caused a water line to break and flood over 20,000 square feet of flooring. The school thanked the Sioux School's maintenance department and the other companies that worked to resolve the issue. They stated they are confident in their ability to mitigate and minimize damage to other areas of the school.
A $201,000 grant has been awarded to Upper Peninsula schools in order to launch a program called Storytelling and Semiconductors. This grant benefits fourth grade students and their educators in an effort to make STEM classes more accessible. The program promotes a new cutting-edge curriculum designed to meet the education and economic needs of Michigan, particularly in relation to semiconductors. Arriving in classrooms this fall, Storytelling and Semiconductors will teach young students lifelong skills to prepare them for careers in engineering, computer science, and other related technologies. A sales accelerator program has been launched to help guide small businesses through the sales process. The University of Wisconsin-Green Bay created a program after the community identified a need for professional sales training. The online program consists of modules that provide businesses with professional success skills needed for fields such as sales support, frontline sales, or those in leadership positions. The modules include live question and answer sessions, practical applications, skill assessments, and more, all designed for small businesses to achieve a faster return on investments. And the Bay College Student Food Pantry in Escanaba received a $7,350 donation supporting their mission of providing food resources to students in need. The donation comes from the Delta County 100 Plus Women Who Care Group, an organization of women who come together quarterly to give back to the community. The donation will be used to provide Bay College students with access to nutritious food items at a time where students' need for food assistance continues to grow. In Washington, D.C., President Trump has delivered a new ultimatum to Hamas, calling for all remaining Israeli hostages to be released by noon on Saturday. This comes as he welcomes the King of Jordan, an ally who supports the ceasefire. CBS's News' Natalie Brand has the latest.
President Trump is welcoming the King of Jordan to the White House today as he tries to pressure the ally to take in Palestinians from Gaza. While Jordan and Egypt have rejected earlier suggestions to relocate Palestinians, President Trump on Monday hinted at consequences if they don't agree. As President Trump doubles down on his proposal to redevelop Gaza, he faces pushback from the region. This Palestinian man says, "We will stay on our rubble. We will not leave."
There are also new concerns over the fragile ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas holding, as Hamas says it will postpone the release of the next round of Israeli hostages, accusing Israel of violating the agreement.
From the Oval Office Monday, President Trump threatened Hamas with his own deadline. President Trump didn't elaborate on what that could mean. Some Israelis worry about the impact. President Trump noted it's ultimately Israel's decision as to what happens next. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Now don't touch that dial. Aubrey will be right back with your weather forecast after this break.
In this episode, musician Ruben Blades and journalist Natalie Morales uncovered their roots.
This is unbelievable.
Goodness gracious.
How does it make you feel to read that?
This is going to make my dad really happy.
You can't make this up.
Incredible. And the fact that it wasn't shared by anyone before.
I was afraid you would find this.
Please turn the page and meet your DNA cousin.
Oh, man.
Welcome back. I'm Aubrey, and this is your weather report. Taking a look behind me at our roof cam, you can see that there's some nice sun peeking through today. And now looking across the UP, starting in Houghton, it is 15 degrees and cloudy. And then there's some partly sunny skies throughout the southwestern part of the UP. In Ironwood, it is 6 degrees. Iron Mountain is 13 degrees. Menominee is 16 and also partly sunny. And now taking a look towards the eastern side, starting in Escanaba, it is 20 degrees and snowing. The same conditions for Manistee. And then in Sault Ste. Marie, it is 18 degrees and snowing. And finally, back in Marquette, it is 14 degrees and partly sunny. Taking a closer look into our current conditions, we have winds out of the northwest at 8 miles per hour, and our barometric pressure is 30.35 inches and falling. Now looking into tonight, you can expect some cloudy skies with a low of 6 degrees, winds out of the west-northwest at 3 miles per hour, and our moon phase is a waxing gibbous. Now looking into tomorrow, the cloudy skies continue with a high of 17, a low of 11, with winds out of the south-southwest at 5 miles per hour. Now looking into the later part of the week, on Thursday you can expect a high of 15 with some partly cloudy skies and a low of 0 degrees. On Friday, a high of 20 with some cloudy skies and a low of 17. And finally, on Saturday, the snow will continue with a high of 22 and a low of 7 degrees. Now that's all for today's weather report. Back to the desk.
Thank you for that weather update, Aubrey. That snow should be nice for any skiers in the area. Now on to your state news. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer has announced a new road plan. Whitmer introduced the MI Road Plan, which proposes a comprehensive and sustainable long-term plan to fix the roads of Michigan for a long time to come. The $3 billion plan includes $1 billion for local roads and $250 million for public transit. The plan hopes to boost transit, help local communities fix roads, reduce the cost of repairs on Michigan drivers' vehicles, and improve overall safety on the roads. The plan ensures that every dollar from Michigan's gas tax funds help with road repairs and ask for corporations to pay for their share. UP State Representative Dave Preston criticized the plan for relying on tax increases, which he says will hurt UP communities. He supports a $3.1 billion alternative that funds road repairs without raising taxes. And Northern Michigan President Brock Tessman has been appointed to serve on the Michigan Education Trust Board of Directors by Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Tessman is succeeding Dr. Philomena Mintella, whose term just expired. The Michigan Education Trust helps families save for college with tax benefits and also oversees funding initiatives. Tessman will help with policy development, investment strategies, and advising the Michigan Education Savings Program. Tessman's term will start immediately and will continue until December 31st of 2027. The announcement of Tessman's position is subject to the advice and consent of the Michigan Senate. One person was pronounced dead at the scene after another plane crash. This time, a private plane landed aggressively at an airport in Scottsdale, Arizona, and slid into a parked business jet. Chris Van Cleve has the latest.
Dramatic video of a Learjet as it lands at the Scottsdale, Arizona airport Monday afternoon. Shortly after touching down, it appears the left main landing gear collapses, sending the plane veering off the runway, crashing right into a parked Gulfstream 200.
Just maintain your altitude and enter a right base. Expect to go around when you just had an emergency.
Firefighters were on scene within a minute.
We have one fatality still in one of the planes. They were dead on arrival.
In addition to the one person killed, at least 3 others were injured. 2 were rushed to local trauma centers in critical condition. The other transported with non-life-threatening injuries. A 5th person was treated at the scene.
Our thoughts and prayers for the individuals on the aircraft. It's certainly a tragedy that occurred.
The plane, built in 1989, was coming from Austin, Texas. Preliminary flight data shows its last reported speed at around 63 miles an hour as it veered off the runway. The Lear 35A is owned by Motley Crue lead singer Vince Neil. A statement posted by his lawyer says he was not on board and that his thoughts and prayers go out to everyone involved. The NTSB will study that video of the accident to try to understand why the gear collapsed, but also look at the plane's maintenance records, and if it has an onboard voice or data recorder, they will seek to retrieve that as well. The Scottsdale Airport is a very busy airport in the Phoenix area, but it is primarily used by private planes and business jets. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Scottsdale, Arizona.
Stay tuned. After this short break, Dylan will be back with a sports report you won't want to miss.
When you put voices together, there's an energy in the air.
Keeping Black traditions alive, it's so important.
The story was meant to be told.
This feels so good.
Black people can also have those stories too.
All this and more, now streaming on the PBS app.
Welcome back. I'm Dylan Dubé with your Public Eye Sports Report. Starting off on the hardwood, J.C. Weisbrod has been named GLIAC Offensive Player of the Week. This is the NMU junior's second time being awarded with the title as she led the way for the Wildcats to secure 2 important wins away from home against Saginaw Valley and Wayne State. Weisbrod put up a solid 23 points with 61.5% from the field and followed it up with an 11-point game with a 45.5% shooting percentage. She leads the GLIAC with her 3-point dominance, averaging 2.78 threes per game, which ranks her 11th in the nation. You can catch Weisbrod and the Wildcats at the Vandament as they take on Lake Superior State at 5:30 on Thursday. Moving over to high school hoops, the Marquette High School girls basketball team took on the Munising Mustangs at home, looking to pull themselves out of a losing streak. The Mustangs, coming into the game with a 14-1, almost invincible record, were looking to bounce back from their first loss of the season at the hands of North Dickinson the week prior. The Sentinels would surprise the Mustangs in this one as Aubrey Blackburn would guide her team with a showcase of palpable offense and defense to win this close bout 58-53. Marquette, now improved to a 7-11 record, will take on Calumet tomorrow, who they have lost 5 of their last 6 meetings against. Tip-off is at 7. Now, passing it over to the NBA, the Detroit Pistons take on the Chicago Bulls for an Eastern Conference showdown. Look out for the Pistons' Malik Beasley, who notched a career-high 36 points in their win against the 76ers last week. In that game, he was good for 9 beyond the arc. Beasley is now only 6 threes away from tying the Pistons' record for most threes made in a season. Malik Beasley complements All-Star Cade Cunningham, who is averaging 25.5 points per game. Together, they look to replicate success as they knock down the Bulls earlier this month. Tip-off is at 8 p.m. tonight in the Windy City. That's all I've got for this Public Eye Sports Report. Now back to Toby and Aubrey at the desk.
Thank you for that sports report, Dylan. That's all the time we have for today at Public Eye News. I'm Toby Camilli.
And I'm Aubrey Huddleston.
And we'll see you next time.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.